Hi there, this is the Black Mormon Reader. I will be reading verses from the 18th chapter of 1st Nephi. But first, let's review what's in this chapter. The ship is finished. The birth of Jacob and Joseph are mentioned. The company embarks for the promised land. The sons of Ishmael and their wives join in rivalry and rebellion. Nephi is bound, and the ship is driven back by a terrible tempest. Nephi is freed, and his prayers for the storm cease. They arrive in the land of promise. Let's start with verse 4. And it came to pass that after I had finished the ship, according to the word of the Lord, my brethren beheld that it was good, and that the workmanship thereof was exceedingly fine, wherefore they did humble themselves again before the Lord. Our band boards the ship with all their provisions, and they set out for the open sea. Let us read it here. My brethren, the son of Ishmael, and also their wives, began to make themselves merry, insomuch that they began to dance and sing, and speak with much rudeness, yea, even that they did forget by what power they had been wrought hither, yea, they were lifted up to exceedingly rudeness. We don't know exactly what this rudeness was. It seemed as if this band was happy. It seemed as if they're on the ship and they are laughing and they're dancing and they're singing and they're having a good time. But somehow he uses the word rudeness, which we don't know exactly what he means by being rude. But whatever it was, Nephi is frightened, lest the Lord shall be angry with us and spite us because of our iniquity, that we shall be swallowed up in the depths of the sea. That's the old attitude of God, that God does not want ones to be happy and merry and joyful, and that we must always be on our toes, lest we make God angry with us. God will get angry with you. And that is an old carryover. I mean, that's a very ancient idea of God. That's why they had the rituals and the rites, everything done to please God. You know, it's kind of hard to kind of squeeze love out of that. I can remember incidences of young girls when I was growing up, and they would have boyfriends that they were afraid of. At least he beat their tails. So this is the same thing about God. We love him, but we got to be afraid of him. And it came to pass that the brothers became angry with him because of his attitude, and they tied him up. And once they tied Nephi up, well, the ship naturally, the ship just was adrift on the sea, and they didn't know where to go going, and so finally they release Nephi, and the ship goes back on its course, and they end up in the promised land. Let's go to the last verse. And it came to pass that we did find upon the land of promise, as we journeyed in the wilderness, that there were beasts in the fields of every kind, both the cow and the ox, and the ass and the horse, and the goat and the wild goat, and all manners of wild animals which were for the use of men. And we did find all manner of ore, both of gold and of silver and of copper. Notice he says both the cow and the ox. Well, if they found the ox, that meant people were already in the Americas when they arrived. Now we're talking about South America, Central America, Mexico, the United States, and Canada. It's huge land mass. And for them to find the ox, because the ox is a man-made animal. I mean, you take the male of a bovine, the cow, and you basically, you castrate this animal. And once you castrate that animal, you make him to an ox. You use the ox to do work, to pull heavy loads. So for them to have found the ox meant people were already here when they got here. And on that note, this is the Black Mormon Reader. Until next time.